The Whole Foodie Festival is on at Whole Foods Market through October 3rd. Save on hundreds of culinary favorites like delectable cheeses, crackers, charcuterie, olives, and chocolates for that perfectly elevated snack board. Class up the party even more with short ribs, caviar, and produce on sale. And save on a huge selection of wine, including those made with organically grown grapes, starting at $6.99. Check out the Whole Foodie Festival today. Terms apply. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. No matter how big you want to grow, Shopify gives you everything you need to take your business to the next level. Shopify is the commerce platform that makes it easy to show up and sell exactly the way you want to. No need to code or design. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period today. Visit shopify.com/offer23 to get started.
This is Optimal Relationships Daily, episode 1913. Infidelity and Jealousy from an Evolutionary Perspective by Dr. Marisa Cohen of Luvze.com. Hello, everybody. So happy to have you here once again, and happy Sunday. I'm your host, Greg Audino, ready to share another wonderful article about relationships with you, as I do each day. This time, I'll be sharing a post from one of my favorite sources, Luvze.com, about one of the most pressing issues in relationships, that being infidelity. Now, today's write-up is really going to show us a lot about how these urges differentiate between men and women, and where they come from, and also what research has concluded and not concluded. So, let's get into it now and start optimizing your life. Infidelity and Jealousy from an Evolutionary Perspective by Dr. Marisa Cohen of Luvze.com. When you feel as if someone poses a threat to your relationship, whether they do or not, jealousy likely creeps in. Researchers note that jealousy is characterized by fear of loss, distrust, or anger, as one is worried about losing a relationship due to a rival. Essentially, jealousy serves as a mechanism by which the person remains hypervigilant to protect his or her relationship from potential intruders. One common scenario which can elicit jealousy is when your partner is in the presence of available and dateable others, resulting in the sense that a partner may be unfaithful. In a previous article, I discussed theories of infidelity, focusing on the different perspectives offered by evolutionary psychologists and social role theorists. The dispute between these two perspectives focuses on the difference in how distress is measured. One approach is to use forced choice alternatives, which include answer choices in which a participant is to pick which is more upsetting from two pre-selected responses. Your partner forming an emotional attachment with another individual, emotional infidelity, or your partner having relations with this other individual, physical infidelity. Evolutionary psychologists have used this forced choice paradigm to show that men are more upset by physical infidelity, while women are more distressed by emotional infidelity. From an evolutionary psychological perspective, the gender differences in outcomes resulting from an unfaithful partner leads to different reactions to infidelity. Women fear that when a man has become emotionally involved with another, they, the women who have been cheated on, may lose some of the resources they have secured from their male partners. Men, however, fear that if their female partners are having relations outside of the relationship, the men are expending their resources on kin that potentially are not theirs. Basically, both are wary of a circumstance in which their genetic offspring are not getting the resources needed. Not everyone agrees with the evolutionary perspective and instead feel that gender differences are merely a result of the way in which the cheating scenarios are presented. Researchers in opposition to the evolutionary perspective note that gender differences disappear when participants can rate their views on a continuous scale. When forced to select an answer, people will choose the type, physical or emotional, that co-occurs with the other. In relating this to the choice women make, emotional infidelity is more distressing, it is thought that a woman will assume that if her husband has fallen in love, he has already had relations with the other woman. Therefore, the selection encompasses both types of infidelity. Infidelity and jealousy. Extending the evolutionary perspective further, jealousy may have evolved as a result of the reproductive challenges, i.e., not having enough resources to provide for the child, that our ancestors faced and the issues that would arise if a partner is unfaithful. Men in particular have to struggle with paternity certainty, or the fact that they can't be completely sure that the child a pregnant woman is carrying is his or another guy's. Men would need to respond with jealousy if they suspected that their mate was about to stray, as this would decrease the likelihood that the woman would have relations with another man. Women, on the other hand, respond with jealousy when they suspect that the resources provided by their male partners and reserved for their offspring are being diverted elsewhere. Therefore, they would worry most when their mates develop emotional connections with others, as this signals the potential to reallocate the resources to new women. What does the research say? One researcher conducted an experiment to examine the evolutionary perspective's accuracy. In this study, the researcher manipulated the scenario, imagining your partner is having relations or imagining your partner is falling in love with someone else, and the race of the individuals, someone of the same or of a different race. If jealousy really arises from the need for the men to be certain of his paternity, physical infidelity should be more threatening. Similarly, from the same perspective, women should find emotional infidelity more displeasing, as it signals the reallocation of necessary resources. The race of the person with whom the infidelity is committed should not influence the participants' responses. However, if jealousy is a general emotional reaction to a potential threat to a relationship, then the race of the person with whom the partner is cheating may play a role. The researchers chose race as a variable to manipulate, as it is unrelated to the threat of infidelity. For this study, 286 students, 214 females and 72 males from South Louisiana University were presented with scenarios regarding their imagined partner's infidelity. Each participant was presented with 4 scenarios in which their partner was unfaithful, based upon the manipulations dealing with type of infidelity and race. Participants also rated on 6 7-point scales how angry, jealous, calm, threatened, relieved, and hurt they felt in response to each scenario. Results demonstrated little effect of the influence of race of the partner with whom the infidelity occurred on reactions to imagined infidelity. The results partially supported the perspective that jealousy evolved for mate retention, because men were more angry and hurt than women in response to physical rather than emotional fidelity. However, results were inconsistent with this in that they failed to show that women were more upset and hurt by emotional infidelity compared to men. Overall, quote, women reported more anger over physical than over emotional infidelity and were equally hurt by physical and emotional infidelity, end quote. Therefore, the idea that jealousy evolved specifically for mate retention is compelling, but does not account for all of the data. Infidelity shakes the ground upon which the relationship is built, as it creates a violation of trust and breaks the commitment each partner made to one another. While this is clear, the theory best suited to explain our reactions to it is not. You just listened to the post titled Infidelity and Jealousy from an Evolutionary Perspective by Dr. Marisa Cohen of Luvze.com.
The Whole Foodie Festival is on at Whole Foods Market through October 3rd. Save on hundreds of culinary favorites like delectable cheeses, crackers, charcuterie, olives, and chocolates for that perfectly elevated snack board. Class up the party even more with short ribs, caviar, and produce on sale. And save on a huge selection of wine, including those made with organically grown grapes, starting at $6.99. Check out the Whole Foodie Festival today. Terms apply. Must be 21 plus. Please drink responsibly.
This episode is brought to you by Pete's. Few things start your day better than a good coffee. That's why Pete's hand roasts their coffee from a specific selection of high-quality beans. And they don't just put those beans into anyone's hands. Pete's trains their roasters for 10,000 hours so they can master the roast that gives you the most. Pete's Coffee. Coffee for coffee people. Find Pete's online or at your local retailer.
Okay, and thanks a lot to Dr. Marisa and for the great research in this article. They've really summed it up so well, leaving me a bit barren for supplementary comments, honestly. Though I will say that these types of reads, while they are right up my alley, despite maybe not being, lively enough for other people's tastes, they're so great for helping us make sense of our feelings. This is why it's so important to learn about why we react the way we do to things. All of a sudden, we can provide structure to our urges. that can otherwise be so hard to control and understand. And it's always crucial that we decide to be patient with ourselves and communicative with our partners, as opposed to simply justifying behavior that's less than desirable just because we know where it comes from and maybe fail to think that we can contain it in any way. I hope that makes sense. Ideally, we want to understand where our emotions come from and manage them appropriately. And articles like this provide the first step to that, and thus is one of the reasons I feel they're so important to share. So thank you for sticking with me through this extremely enlightening post, everyone. Hopefully we've all learned a bit about ourselves and perhaps how we can better tend to the feelings our partners might face too. Time to wrap it up, but have no fear, I will be back again for more tomorrow, and really hope you'll join me again. I'll see you all there, where your optimal life awaits.